Alright, you found this video right now. You play some John Madden football. Now, it might be against your buddies. It might be against a CPU. It might be online head-to-head. I don't know what it is, but you want to start winning more games. And I've been able to play this game at the highest of levels throughout my past 4 or 5 years. Played professionally, played in the MCS. I know what it takes to win some John Madden football games. And I've been able to talk to a lot of people. And throughout that time, I've learned that I made a lot of mistakes when I was playing early on. I'm going all over some of the 5 biggest ones that I kind of wish I knew when I first started playing, so I could have won a lot more games when I was like 17, 18 years old instead of now when I'm 22. All right. So the first one I want to talk about is if you know anything about Madden, you want a user, a linebacker, more importantly, a safety at linebacker, but going a little bit deeper, because that's the basic tip. We go deep here. All right. We go about 2 inches. You want to know and have an idea of what you are using on defense. So let me paint a picture for you. Close your little eyes and think about a cover 2 defense, all right? There's a few hook curls in the middle. There's 2 deep blues going back into halves, and there's 2 cloud flats outside, all right? Where are the weaknesses in this defense? This is your defense. You're running it. Where are the weaknesses? Ask yourself. Well, you have a lot of hook curls in the middle of the field, so the intermediate middle's fine. But the sidelines, especially deep, are a little tough because you just have that singular flat and then a deep half. And then the deep middle is a little weak as well. That's what you need to be saying to yourself on defense and saying, okay, my user needs to be aware of what could be attacking the deep middle, because that's my area, or the deep sidelines. Now, this goes for every defensive coverage you might be running, where you need to be identifying where are my weaknesses, where are my strengths, and then, where does my user need to be to defend this? Additionally, to add just a little bit deeper, we're going from 2 inches now to 3 inches deep, is what formation are they in, and which of these areas are they most likely to attack? Now, if I'm in Tampa 2, or cover 2, Tampa 2, whatever, against gun bunch, for example, I'm very afraid about that deep sideline. I'm very afraid about it. So my head is saying, as soon as the ball is snapped, are they attacking deep sideline? Are they attacking deep sideline? Are they attacking deep sideline? If yes, I got to user that. I got to go there. You have to. That's your weakness. And again, it goes for every defensive coverage. Your user is the most important player on defense. If you want to get better at Madden going from, like, in 7 days from now, if you want to be a drastically better Madden player, it's, again, schemes matter a ton, obviously. Abilities matter a ton. But those will always change. There'll be a new best one from whoever. Your favorite YouTuber is going to drop his new favorite scheme, me, dropping a new favorite scheme every week or so, whatever. But if you get better at usering, that's something that'll transfer to Madden, defense to defense, everything. It will make you a better John Madden football player. You'll start winning exceptionally more games. I don't know if that was the right word. Tip number 2 is that when I first started, I thought I was playing some real football, not John Madden football, and I tried running a bunch of different formations and a bunch of different plays. And the fact of the matter is that not every play is created equal in Madden. Literally, a lot of plays in Madden suck. Like, they are just bad plays. A really good example is the end around. Go to Gun Bunch out of Seattle Seahawks playbook, I believe, and they have an end around reverse or something. Terrible. Should never be called. Really fun. Looks fun, but should never, ever be called. You only get about 30 or so offensive snaps in a Madden game. If that, I think that might be a little bit high. And you don't want to waste any of those, man, because your opponent isn't going to waste any of his. So don't waste those calling bad plays, all right? A lot of plays are terrible. Get a few plays that you enjoy and really start to focus on those. And that's going to take us into our next point. On point number 3 is that you need to master a few plays. As the top players in the world, if you watch the play calls throughout a game, they only call 6 plays a game. 6 different route combos a game, typically. They might even be the same play call. Now, there is a difference here. If I call verticals, but I set up 2 different route combos, those are 2 different plays, all right? Just because you see verticals get called twice does not mean they ran the same play. But, so that's just a little tangent. But what I'm getting at here is that you need to master only a few plays. Because if you're calling high percentage plays, the best plays in Madden can attack most coverages. And you get about 6, 7, 8 of them. That's what we do inside of Civil GG. We learn about 8 plays that will give you the tools to beat every coverage you can possibly see. And most plays will beat the majority of coverages, and then when that's not working, you go to one of the other plays you master. Because if you could call 6 plays that you master compared to 15 plays that you are just okay with, there's a good chance on those 15 plays you're going to miss reads, you're going to make mistakes, you're not going to know pass protection, you're not going to have good pocket, you're not going to go the best coverages to go against for it. Whereas if you master 6 plays, you'll always know your pocket presence, you'll always know your blocking protection, you'll always know the route combos, the timing, all of that stuff. Master those things, and once you master plays, then you can kind of expand a little bit. You can kind of, get a few gadget plays. Whenever I have my main scheme going into a tournament, I always learn a couple other gadget plays from that formation. Whether it's a speed option. I remember Madden 20, I had a bunch of touch passes that were nowhere near part of my main scheme, but in a game worth about $8,000, I had to go to this kind of mini scheme I had because my main scheme, I just was playing really bad. I need something a little bit more gimmicky to get me out of it, but I had already mastered all that stuff. I was just playing bad for a game, so I was able to kind of go to some of those things. But that was only when I was already deep into my playbook and deep into the kind of the mastery of my initial scheme. That's really what you got to focus on. Don't get okay at a bunch of things. Master 6-7 plays. This is one that I'm really bad about still. I hate this. I really do, but it's such a good tip. It's such a good tip, but I hate it. Play the clock game. You want to eat that clock. Gargle it if you can. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, when you shorten games, you make the games closer. You give less time for the opponent to pull ahead, which means come the fourth quarter, it'll probably be a one-possession game. It means that you'll always be in relative striking distance of being able to win the game. That's what you'll see a lot of players. Joke is one of the best Madden players of all time. If arguably the best, but he's not, but arguably. He, in games, even when he was outskilled, he would find a way to come down to the final 2.5 minutes where he's only down 4. You could win that game still, you know what I'm saying? Even in those games, because he would take a huge control of the ball, right? He would really dominate the ball, no turnovers, and he would eat up the clock. He would work his way methodically down the field. And a big part of that is what I just said, not turning the ball over. Because if you have the ball, they don't have the ball, and they can't score. Sounds really simple, but there's a reason that in the NFL, quarterbacks who don't turn the ball over are very highly valued. There's a reason Carson Wentz sucks. And not because he's not talented, because the dude launches the ball to the other team. All right? And the same idea. If you're turning the ball over, you are not controlling the clock anymore. You're putting the ball in their hands, and they can kind of dominate you. If you control that clock, gargle it, you will be able to, you'll stay in the games at the very least. You're able to execute your scheme. You have a chance to win most games at the end. I can't think of the amount of times that I've been able to, I'm bad at this, but I have had times where I've been able to claw my way, just barely hang on by a thread in some games, only losing by 5 to someone much better than me. And then at the end, I get a money drive to win. Now, I typically choke, but I've had that opportunity. Hopefully, you'll actually execute. Number 5. This is a fun one because this is a lot of people. This used to be me, and there's a lot of people I know. Do not overlap. What I mean by that is so many people try learning every little gimmicky thing in the game. They know all the playbooks. They know, well, did you know if you motion the X wide receiver backwards and trips Y offset, that he'll actually go inside of the other guy, and you can use that for a cover 2 beater for a 15-yard game. Why not just run a normal cover 2 beater? No reason to be weird about it, right? Yeah. So what I'm getting at is that don't overlap because executing is everything. Even it goes back to kind of the mastering of a few plays. Execute. It doesn't matter how much you know if you can't execute. Now, does knowing help you execute? 100%, but you don't need to be the smartest guy in the room when it comes to Madden. I haven't been the smartest Madden player in terms of knowing all the ins and outs of the games in probably about 4 years. Madden 20 was a big one for me where I knew a lot. And then Madden 18, I knew a ton as well. But Madden 18, I was bad. And Madden 20, I was good. But a lot of it, Madden 20, I was good only because I was really good at executing for the most part. Not because I knew all the ins and outs and all the glitches and stuff. It's nice to know those things, but they do nothing for you if you don't execute. That is the biggest key. How do you get better at executing, you might be asking? Simple. You play games. Now, if you can get into high-pressure games, heck yes. There's a lot of free tournaments that happen all the time. You can join CFMs where, you can get into playoff races and stuff like that. Play head-to-head seasons where you're in your playoffs, fighting for coins. Weekend League, try to go 25-0. Make a real effort at going 25-0 and write down what is going wrong in your games that you lose. You do that every weekend or week, I guess, for the rest of the year. You will get better at the game. If your goal is to win more games at John Madden Football, you will get better, right? Because you'll be able to beat the out of your friends if you do that. You'll be able to beat other people. You can maybe possibly become a comp player even. That is how you get better. I used to do that. I used to write down what went wrong. I used to really watch all my games back. What went wrong? How did I throw this interception? What did I do? That's why you see so many comp players, if you watch them stream, they will clip a lot of what they do because they watch a lot of the stuff back. What did I go wrong? Where did this happen? Why did this happen? Even with good things too, they'll write down what went well. Really, like, executing is so much. You need to have a good scheme, and labbing is important. But so many people overblow it by just spending so much time in practice mode, and they never really get to see real-world concepts. Or, I guess you need proof of concept in game almost. That's such it's a huge deal. Now, that doesn't mean not to lab ever, right? I'll see a lot of people, I'll get Civil GG members who will pick up a scheme and they don't lab it at all. Obviously, it's all labbed out for you. Like, I do that, but you need to get practice with it, right? You need to know the timing of routes. You need to get comfortable with it. And if you don't lab it at all, you're going to go into a game and it's going to be tough. Now, a fun way to lab for me, that I like to do that in that situation when I have like an offense I know I want to run, I just need reps in it, is go into a game mode that you don't care that much about. For me, it's head-to-head seasons. I don't care if I win or lose. And then run a play every single time for a game. Entire game. Run this one play every single play. Because then you'll know all the ins and outs of it, right? Do that for a couple games. Spend one day, right? Monday this week, I'm going to run PA boot over every single play. Last year, that was 7 days a week I did that. 24 hours, 365. But seriously, that's how you can get better at it. Now, obviously, game gets close at the end. You can try to win the game. But that's a drill that I've been doing for years when I run a scheme is, let me really master this play. And, do it 6 different plays. Simple as that, right, boys? Those 5 tips I feel like really helped me throughout my kind of progression as a Madden player to get into where the level I'm at right now. If you want more tips like this, make sure you check out civil.gg. Use code PREMIUM. I have a bunch of ebook schemes on there. One membership fee gets you everything, all right? A membership gets you access to everything. See y'all in the next video. If you want to know my framework for how I run my offenses and defenses and how I've won pro Madden tournaments while becoming a top-ranked player, join my website, civil.gg. My guides will give you the tools you need to win more games of Madden, regardless if you're trying to become comp or if you're just trying to win more games online head-to-head. The link is in the description.